Hello everybody, this is Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I love this mini catalog and I love it every single year. It's the September to December mini catalog and it has all of the things for the holidays that are upcoming. And we have in it I should have marked it, sorry. The very first sweet collection is called Season of Elegance, and you can see all of the amazing products that come in the sweet collection right here on these two pages, pages 24 and 25 of the mini. And we have two bundles, so I call it a mega suite because if you purchase the whole suite, you get two bundles. And I love these bundles because one is the tree bundle, the Peaceful Evergreens. And then the other one that coordinates with it or is made to coordinate but can be used for all kinds of things is the Peaceful Season bundle. And that's all words. And then I love the labels. I love labels, banners, all of that stuff because they are so versatile. And then we've got the designer series paper. If you watched project number 2 of the 12 projects of Christmas, you saw this paper in action. So was it number 2 or number 1? Number 1, sorry. It's project number 1. I showcased some of the Old Olive and Mossy Meadow beautiful paper. And today we're going to use that pretty peacock. And we're also going to highlight this particular embossing folder right here, which is the Painted Trees embossing folder. It's so pretty. It's a 3D folder, so it really gets some good dimension on there. So let's check out what we're going to make. And I have some pieces cut out already. Let's talk about the DSP. Remember, it comes in basic beige, a couple different designs with gold foil on one side and plain on the other. This kind of, to me, looks like it could be almost a wood grain. It's not though, it's more of a painted texture, but it looks really cool. And then the other one we're going to use is the pretty peacock. Now, when you see the pretty peacock piece, it is gold foil kind of down the middle with some spatterings of it on the outsides. Well, we're going to use more of that middle section for this. I know I've used gold in both of the cards so far. And the honest truth is I just can't help myself. So here we go again with the gold. And we're going to start by using the Countryside Corners dies to cut a piece out of this. So we're going to take the largest of the two dies, or of the two. Yeah, there's more than two. We're going to take the largest of the dies. And then we're going to take the second largest also, because what we're going to do is layer them here so that we create a border. So you can see the perfect border that I have set up. We'll see how perfect it is. But then we're going to use some washi tape just to keep it into place. Into place? Wow, Aim, use your words. All right, so we've got some washi, hopefully, that we're going to use. Oh, that's the end of this one. Okay, so holding it in place now, I'm going to anchor with a piece of washi tape in opposite corners. And I'm going to get them spaced as equally apart all the way around as I possibly can. Then we're going to bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut this piece. What we end up with then, let me take these pieces of washi tape off. Oh, fun. I'm going to use those again. So I'm going to save those over here on the side for use on another part of this card. And then we've got actually two pieces. We've got a beautiful frame and we've also got this inside. And we're going to use this inside with the gold side out. And then we're going to flip this and check out how amazing the back side of that DSP is. It's just got a little bit of texture and some variation in color there. So we're going to use those two sides for some of our card. In the meantime, let's check out what I've done in advance here. So here I've got 2 of the trees, and let me bring in the stamp sets in that sweet collection again so you can check it out. Peaceful Evergreens, look at how pretty those evergreens are. I've stamped them in Pretty Peacock on basic beige cardstock and cut them out with the coordinating dies. And then we're going to use the Peaceful Season stamp set as well. So we'll set that aside for now. What we're going to do now with these trees. Yes, we have texture just in how we see the stamping, but we are also going to run it through with this beautiful embossing folder, and they don't fit. You know, they're not like designed to cut and emboss like, say, a hybrid embossing folder is, but I can use the texture in the folder to give the trees some extra texture. So I'm just going to use that washi tape again, and I'm going to put these trees into the folder so that it's on the Stampin' Up side of the folder, because that will pop the embossing out, and that's what we want. So then we're going to run this through, and remember it's a 3D embossing folder, and whew, that gets a little bit close. So we're going to take our platform, then we're going to put in, let's see what's in the way here. We're going to put in our folder seam side towards the rollers, and then finishing off with plate number 4, which is the gray one. And of course the machine comes with all these plates so that you don't have to purchase anything extra. If you purchase the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it's going to have what you need. All right, then let's see what we got. We're going to take the washi off. And it's okay if we leave a little bit. I'm not going to, sit and pick all that out, simply because the back is going to be covered anyway, so it's fine. It really got the washi embossed at the same time. Okay, so there we go. So now it's probably hard to see on camera, but we've got bumpy trees now. So it's not only got the texture of the stamp, but it's also got the texture from the embossing folder. And I think that's just another unique way to use that folder. Next, we're going to take the small tree and we're going to add it to our background. I know it looks a little busy. Things will get calmed down here though as we put this card together. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and we're just going to use that. And I knew that was going to happen because it's got all that texture. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to layer this, and I am going to be careful to get it layered so that the bottom edge goes under that frame, because we don't want any trees. I don't want that tree just floating. So I'm going to put it on like this. Then I'm going to take my snips and I'm just going to cut off that little bit that hangs over the edge. Then let's bring in our other paper here. We're going to use a 4 1/4 by 11 inch basic beige and scored in half at 5 1/2. And then we're going to add a piece of the basic beige DSP Season of Elegance Specialty Designer Series paper. And actually, we're not going to use the gold side, which seems preposterous, doesn't it? No, we just want a subtle background. And so I am going to use that piece, that side that kind of looks like wood grain. It kind of has that streak in it, like a wood grain. And then we're going to add this piece right in the center. So we're going to flip this over. Oh, I love the back side of that paper too. It is so pretty. All right, so we're going to center that as best we can. And I'm going to eyeball. I don't typically measure. something like that, I just eyeball it. See how that gold just kind of sits in the background and allows the tree to kind of pop? Well, we're gonna add some more to it here. So let's take our frame, and we're gonna pop up our frame using our adhesive strips, foam adhesive strips. So the foam adhesive strips, I want this side. We're just gonna go down the sides and then across. I'm gonna actually do the whole thing, and you can tear it if you want, but look, see, this is why I don't tear it. I wanted to show you that you could. I don't, because it always ends up ratty and messy and too long and too short. So we're just gonna finesse this strip, and you could bend it. I just want to keep it a little more clean and sure. I don't want it popping out into the frame at all. So, and then I'll take this piece down here because that'll fit. And then we just have a little bit more to go. So I'm going to take a second strip. So these are found in our annual catalog. They are fantastic for shaker cards. And you can use them just to pop regular things up as well. I will say about the foam adhesive strips that they maybe just give a little bit taller loft than our regular Stampin' Dimensionals. So keep that in mind if you are going to opt to use them, because they just have a little extra pop to them. Okay, now once I've got this all the way around, now I'm going to remove the paper backs. And we're going to layer this back into place so that we have that nice, pretty peacock border all the way around. I'm just trying to get it nice and even so that we don't see a lot of basic beige in the interim here. So let's just kind of readjust. There, I think that'll do. Okay, so once we've got that frame back on, now it has some really neat dimension to it. Let's bring in our other tree. We're going to layer this one over the top. So what we're going to do is add some more of our strip. So if you use 2 strips, that'll be about right for this project. So I'm just going to layer those right next to each other, because the left side of the tree does kind of sit over the top of the frame. So I don't want any dimension on those. And when I add it here, I am going to, it didn't, how come that happened? I forgot it doesn't go over there. I wanted this down here. I forgot the frame didn't go over the rest of the Countryside Corner die, so I had to readjust there. I want it all the way to the bottom. And then this one is going to sit up just a little bit as kind of a highlighting piece. Okay, so this is really, really pretty so far, and the trees kind of pop off the page with that basic beige background. And then remember that beautiful gold it was that we used on card number 1? It is, I think it's called the Textured Metallic Specialty Paper. Anyway, this is the gold piece that we used in card number 1, and I thought I would bring it back in to get the little label here. Now remember, one of the die sets that we have here cuts out these trees, and this can create some really pretty snow, a snow background. And then these pieces here make a bow, these 4 pieces here, and I used one of those to cut out a piece that actually we're going to use for a sentiment. We're not going to make a bow out of it. But then the other die set has some great banners that we talked about, banners and labels. So I took that banner die and I cut it out of gold, And now we're just going to layer that at the top here. So the easiest way that I found to add adhesive is to either take your Stampin' Seal or some liquid glue and just kind of go around the bend here. And then we'll adhere the banner right over the top of that Countryside Corner die. And you see I've lined it up at the top of the Designer Series paper background. So this piece now, we're just going to take and stamp a sentiment. I found a stamp in the Peaceful Season stamp set that says joy and love to you. Well, that whole thing doesn't fit on this unique use for our little bow die. So instead, I'm just going to ink up love to you. So love to you is inked and fits perfectly right inside this bow. Hopefully I got it straight. We'll see. Did I get lucky? Relatively so. We'll take it. So now this is just going to get adhered up here as our little header. Love to you. That's the theme of our card. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. Okay, then we're going to open this up. And inside, thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest is perfect addition to the love to you stamp on the outside. And then what we'll also do is bring in the basic beige ink pad, and we'll just add a couple of trees in here. So I'm going to take my Peaceful Evergreens, and I'm actually going to use the smallest of the trees. And we'll just stamp, like I said, a couple of these here as a backdrop. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. What do you think of that one? I am loving the gold, my friends, but let's just pivot with project number 4. We'll not use gold. How about that? But for now, we are loving the gold, and I hope that you're enjoying all 3 projects of Christmas so far. Now, in the comments below, or in the description below, you can see that I have links to projects number 1 and 2, so that you can go back and watch those videos as well. So check the links out there in the description of the video, and join me again for project number 4 that will happen in just a couple days. So I'll see you back here then. Can't wait. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single video tutorial.